Hit me.
Good morning.
Morning.
Today, I would like you to tell me who your hero is.
My wife. Easy. Thor. I mean, come on. Chris Hemsworth? The guy's a fucking machine. Case closed.
My brother Alex. He battled leukemia as a kid. Taught me how to breakdance, kind of. It's a shame, really. He grew up wanting to be a professional dancer, but the expectations of the family overruled, and so he followed the family fucked over tradition and joined the army. Ta-da! I mean, you'd think beating cancer, you'd be up there wanting to fulfill your dreams, but there's no such thing as a dream in our family. Only considered a hero if it involves a uniform and picking up a gun. He still dances, though, and gets the girls. Hashtag dancing hero.
Hero. What does that even mean? Oh, God. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm in the mood for this today. I don't think I've got the energy for it.
That's a big question. Heroes surround me, but if you're asking for a personal hero, it'd have to be my grandfather. He was in the Air Force and he taught me how to fly. Sadly, he struggled with dementia and he just lost any real connection with his family. Except when I took him flying. And then he'd look at me and he'd remember who I was and how much he loved to fly. Oh, we would fly so high.
All right, look, off the top of my head, it would have to be my son, Connor. In fact, all military kids are heroes. They have to put up with so much upheaval and fear in their lives, and they just take it in their stride. Warriors. Yep, there you go. Military kids. Little people, big heroes. Yeah.
You're expecting the obvious, right? But I have to go with the brave families of the soldiers back home. They have an enviable faith of their own. They maintain a sense of belonging to a world that is unique to them. I'm continually in awe of the strength they have to protect one another.
So the key to staying on the board is to balance your body weight and keep a low centre of gravity. And if you can, avoid sharks.
There was a fire. I woke up to screaming and you could smell smoke. My dad runs in and tells me and my brother to stay in bed. My brother's up and he opens the curtains. The room is filled with this orange glow, flickering a pattern on the floor. He climbs up on the window ledge and I join him. You know, we were standing up on our tiptoes trying to see over the backyard. We could see smoke billowing up into the sky. 2 houses were on fire. One of them was Joseph's house, my friend. I could make out Joseph's bike in the drive. We'd been riding out on the street earlier that day. We made capes and argued about who had the best one. Joseph won because he used a pillowcase with dinosaurs on it. My cape had flowers on it. A tablecloth. It was all Mum had. My brother climbs out the window. I follow him. It's not the first time we've climbed out. We were little shits. Grounded a fair bit. And we run out onto the road and the heat hits you. It was chaos. There's people running around with buckets and hose pipes. And my dad, my dad, he's running up the street and he's got no shoes on. He leapt over Joseph's bike and he runs into the house. Me and my brother, we stood there, frozen, for what felt like an eternity. I couldn't take my eyes off Joseph's front door. My brother asks where Dad is, and I couldn't answer. Suddenly, Dad runs out. He's got Joseph and Mandy, they're clinging onto him like koalas. I used to hold my dad like that. I remember Dad passed Joseph and Mandy to a neighbour, and I called out Joseph's name, but he couldn't hear me. The noise of the fire and glass cracking. I'm almost knocked off my feet as Mum runs past shouting at Dad to stop. But he doesn't. He runs back in the house. My dad doesn't come back out. The roof collapses as he's pulling Joseph's parents out of their bed. Killed them all. People would say that my dad was a hero, and I disagreed, and I wasn't afraid to say so. I was fully aware of the looks on people's faces, but I didn't care. I was a kid, for fuck's sake, and I just lost the most precious thing I had. A couple of years later, I got into a fight with Joseph in the park. We'd stopped being friends. He went to live with his grandparents, changed schools. I blamed him. And I was so angry at my dad. I mean, who the fuck runs into a house on fire with no shoes on? Me and my brother, we begged Mum to move house, but she refused. Said she felt like we'd be abandoning Dad. Every day we had to walk past the burnt out remains on our way to school. It was such a shitty time. Eventually, they built a new house. And another family moved in. And that was that. I got out of there as soon as I could. As soon as I was old enough, I signed up and Mum still lives there. My brother moved overseas. I hardly go back. I know I should. It's unfair on Mum, really. It took me joining the army to realise what an absolute fucking hero my dad was. The ordinary man